Roberto and Diane's story. Hello dear ones, it's great to have you here on our channel. Today we're going to tell a story based on real facts, the story of a man who faced everything for the love of a woman, who later betrayed him. I invite you to immerse yourself body and soul in this beautiful story. But first I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Roberto was a famous broadcaster in his city. He hosted a radio program about music and culture. Diana listened to her program every day. She loved the way Roberto talked about the songs and the knowledge he had about the history of music. One day, Diana decided to call the radio and make a program every morning as she got ready to go to work. She always liked the songs he played and the way he presented the show. One day, Diana decided to call the radio to make a song request. When Roberto answered, she was nervous and could barely speak. Roberto noticed that she was nervous and tried to calm her down. They chatted for a while and Roberto ended up discovering that Diana was a big fan of his show. Over time, the two began to talk more often. Roberto was enchanted by Diana's voice and the way she talked about her passions and dreams. Diana, in turn, began to feel a special connection with Roberto, as if they were made for each other. After a few weeks of conversations over the phone and on social networks, Roberto and Diana decided to meet in person. They chose a nice place in town, a cozy cafe where they could talk and have coffee together. It was love at first sight. Roberto immediately noticed Diana's beauty, who radiated positive energy and contagious joy. Diana, in turn, was delighted with Roberto, who was even more charming in person than on the phone. The next few days were filled with dates, city walks, romantic dinners, and lots of conversation. Roberto and Diana realized that they complemented each other in a special way, that they had many things in common, and that life seemed much brighter when they were together. Since then, Roberto and Diana have formed a passionate couple, who support each other in good and bad times, and who know that love is the basis of everything. Their love story started with a simple call to the radio, but it turned into something truly special and lasting. Roberto always dreamed of having a family and a stable life. At a carnival ball they danced together all night and discovered they had many things in common. Diana was a cheerful and friendly young woman, with a contagious smile that danced with her the whole night. It was love at first sight. Despite being of humble origin, Roberto did not hesitate to marry Diana, the woman who stole his heart. The two had a beautiful daughter, Roberta, who became the apple of their eye. After a while, already engaged to Diana, Roberto left the radio and went to work with a sound bike, doing advertising. The rush was great. Roberto did everything. He even worked on a motorcycle taxi and did everything to support his family. He worked long hours, often spending days away from home to make sure his wife and daughter didn't lack for anything. Unfortunately, all this effort ended up having a high price. Roberto was away from home for a long time, and his daughter Roberta grew up without understanding the reason for all of this. She didn't know how hard her father worked to make sure the family didn't lack for anything. Over time, Roberta moved away from her father and ended up with a total separation. Now an adult, she barely speaks to him and doesn't recognize him as the hero of her childhood, as he always was. But Roberto doesn't give up trying to show the love he feels for his daughter. Even with his heart broken due to her estrangement, he always keeps the dream alive that one day the two will have a better relationship. Roberto and Diana are still together, despite all the difficulties faced. They proved that true love is always stronger than any problems that might come along the way. Even with adversity, they never turn their backs on each other. They still dream of a better future, one in which Roberta finally understands her father's effort and love can blossom between them again. Thanks for watching. I once again got very emotional. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Submit your story to us. Until the next video.